We're having some technical difficulties, so we'll just press on and do this off the cuff, which I'm pretty good at. A couple of different things that I wanted to bring up. First off, I really am frankly quite proud of the effort that the office is putting together right now. You guys appear to be really moving in a proper direction with your business. I really want to get from everybody a business plan by the end of the month, if possible. Not if possible, I want one by the end of the month, so I know what you guys intend to do through the course of the balance of the year. We do have 4 new agents here. Frank is actually over in Malaysia right now, or the Philippines. Kelsey is waiting for her license. Tom is on board, as well as Dolores. Now, Dolores has some experience. She's worked before. If you see her around, I'm surprised she's not here this morning, but she also works at the hospital here in Moreno Valley, at the county hospital. Kelsey is in our training meeting. If you guys haven't met her, she's a kind of a petite little blonde girl. She seems to really be kind of sharp and not afraid to talk to people, and I think she's going to be a good agent as well. And then Frank is just gung-ho and doing his stuff over there in either Malaysia or the Philippines. In the Philippines.
I was fixing it.
Cheryl is not here, she's on vacation, but she did send you guys, I think, an email to everybody that she's still available even while she's on vacation. So if you've got anything you're working with her, don't panic. Obviously, she can do what she needs to do while she's off-site, just like most of us are able to do as well. Make sure that you're doing the TV and your YouTube stuff. And again, I think some of you people have, I know Chris does. Don, do you have a YouTube video? You should probably have your wife do it. You probably wouldn't do it as well as she would, but at least do one.
Yeah, she would.
Let's see. Anything else that I should report on now? See Ingrid. The monthly sales award. Again, I'm going to get through this pretty quickly because we have a guest speaker after this. Our broker is going to talk to us about a new product that we have available to use.
And you're going to love it.
The top selling agent for the month of May was Steve Amaya.
Steve Amaya.
Come on down. Where is he? Oh, there he is. And then, imagine that, stay here. The top listing agent was also Steve. Actually, I mean, Steve's done an excellent job, but I do want to mention, give an honorable mention to Eric, the great. Some of his stuff rolled over into June, but Eric had a great month as well. Probably his best month since he's been in business, I would think. So that's the one thing, and this gets back to the listing stuff. Chris is very, very active and proactive in it. Dwayne actually had a pretty decent month last month as well. But you guys need to get out there and kind of follow what they're doing. I mean, the path that they're using is working, so don't hesitate to emulate that. If it's successful, do it. I don't know that you want to spend the money they do, but just portions of what they're doing can be very, very helpful. This gets back to farming and just being out there and pressing the flesh. So don't be afraid to have somebody tell you no. I mean, Oscar had one yesterday that he was working on, and unfortunately it was a short sale that went to sale. They couldn't stop it before it went to sale. But if you don't have those opportunities to work with people, you're not going to get anything done. So just get out there and do it. Don't be afraid, like I say, to have people say no to you. We do have 3 birthdays here within the office, and Stacy, although she's staff, runs the show here. Lance thinks he does, but she does. So be kind to her. She's working really, really hard for all of us. And then Mike, where are you? What do you want for your birthday, Mike?
Nothing.
Oh.
A listing?
Did I say that? There you go. You said it.
Nothing.
Nothing? Are you sure?
I'll take a listing.
Okay, a listing? Okay. And Gwen was here yesterday. I spoke with her briefly, and she's got some things that she's dealing with. One of the nice things about our job is it gives us flexibility, no different than when I had my daughter. She's got an elderly parent that she's doing some caretaking for, so she's not super active, but you'll see her around the office. She sits opposite Shirley there in that desk. So if you see her, greet her, and kind of be nice to her. We do have a couple of anniversaries. Let's see, I think my anniversary is the 23rd year I've been here. Oh, that was in April.
I don't know, could be.
Somebody skipped me.
Yeah.
So Lily, and obviously Lily is the one that you guys all want to be nice to because she's the one that cuts the checks. And then Lou Walters, 4 years. So we won't worry about the other offices. In fact, Redlands, I think we should have the obits, not the.
Oh my goodness. Boy.
Market data. The market data is excellent. Go out there and sell stuff. The market data is like this. It's up, 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 up. All right. So go out there and just work and work your fingers to the bone. I do know it's challenging out there. I know. Again, our inventory is tight. The way to solve that obviously is get new inventory on the marketplace. The other thing to consider, and I don't know if you guys are real active in it, the new home tracks, as much as we bitch about them, that's an opportunity. Learn what's out there in the new home stuff. If they're not going to co-op with you, don't worry about it. But if they're going to, get out there and it's just another source of inventory as well as an income stream that some people are not taking advantage of.
I just got an email from D.R. Horton saying they're getting 5% RIF.
Yeah,
5%.
I did as well. I saw that. So
Easiest paycheck you'll ever earn.
it is absolutely. I will tell you, just on a sidebar, there was when we went through kind of a market like this years ago. Well, it was at the tail end of the REO stuff, but Corona Realty was formed, and they were the first off-ramp off Green River there coming out of Orange County. And their whole model was to deal with builder closeouts and builder inventory. And then on the flip side, as a result of that, you get people coming out there that had a contingency situation where they'd have to sell to buy. So who's going to get that listing? You know, so get out there and beat the streets. Coldwell Banker does have a new home. In Coldwell Banker Works, they've got some new home product in there. So if you guys want to get in there and take a look at that, makes us a better asset. If you can arrange for, at any point, to get meetings with people that may make a decision whether or not they want to use us as opposed to having a sales staff, Lance, myself, Drew, Don, anybody will be willing to talk, and maybe even Dwayne, talk to them on behalf of our office and see if we can arrange something like that. So, a lot of these things with the builders, they staff the sales floors, but they have to pay these people. So we can sell them the fact that we've got agents that are willing to go out there and show the product for them with appointments that will save them some money. So it may be a win-win. So, again, think outside of the box. Think of certain things that we can do beyond that. Any questions about market data? Because that's how I'm going to present it today. Lance, you have any questions?
No, I've got a great PowerPoint. I did this thing and for the appraisers last week, and I'll email it out to you guys, but it's kind of a summary of the stuff that we've been looking at. And I mean, the charts are just, they're nice charts. I mean, if you want to sit down in front of a buyer or a seller and show them a nice green upward moving chart, they're green and they're moving up. So, and unit sales are moving up.
Any news that anyone wants to share with the group? No?
You talked about that builder closeout. I know an agent that's
Well,
picking up 14 listings on a builder closeout.
Really? Okay.
Very local.
Well, you and Steve did that one with that one group.
Yeah, a few years back.
Speaking of birthday girl. Oh. I'm just trying to sneak in here. Our meeting started at 8 here.
Oh, really?
For
I'm
you,
so
8.
sorry.
Just show up at 8. We'll start at 9.
Everyone, I'm so sorry.
No, I'm kidding. Welcome. There are coffees in there. Go ahead, help yourself. I'll buy you a cup for your birthday.
Okay, thank you.
What a sport. SkySlope. Okay, we are still using SkySlope as our platform. I know I spent some time with Bob Capps with it yesterday. And again, there's grumblings with it. I think it's a good product right now as it sits.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest problem, and I think where the confusion lies with it is, that's an internet platform. Your computer doesn't have to do anything other than get you to the internet. So it's not doing any calculations or anything. Don't get panicked about it. You just got to get that window open and start working in it. There's a couple ways you can do it. Bob was emailing to the address, because of course there's an address. Once you open up a file and set it's pending, there'll be an email address. It's fairly cumbersome, I think, on the email side. You can do it, but my preference is really use the agent scans and import that data off that. It's much simpler. It comes in, and you can take a whole file and split it. I know Oscar, I think, has gone through that as well. So you can take umpteen million pages and split it. It will assign it as you, it's smart enough to recognize if you start typing the right keystrokes in there, what you're trying to assign it to, so it'll do that for you. So I just think it's at this point it's a good product. We're considering some other issues, but right now this is what we're using, so just use it. Don't be afraid of it. If you got questions or concerns with it, contact Lance. I mean, me. Or Ingrid. Oh, no, don't contact Ingrid. Again, the portal, we're going to use the portal. We're going to become a lot more aggressive in using the portal. And again, this becomes an issue not specific to our office, but again, because I'm managing 2 offices and involved in it, it's a lot easier if we're all working together. And we all know one place to go, because then it's seamless. If you wanted to go out to Redlands, or you wanted to go to Covina or Santa Ana and do some business, which you can, don't hesitate to do it. Claremont, the Claremont people won't leave Claremont, so don't worry about that, okay? But you guys can infringe in their territory quite easily. Redlands the same way, those guys won't go out of their area. But don't hesitate to use those office spaces. The portal is consistent throughout, and again, we're trying to get stuff tied all together with that, so you have one place to kind of go for everything. It's going to take a little bit of time, but just bear with us. And don't be afraid to get in there and utilize the information, particularly the data if you're going to go out and do some presentations for listings or even flyers. Get in there and you can get the data off of that. Okay? Questions, concerns? Hot topics? It's summertime. Let's get out there and do some business. I really want to, and I've been tasked to do buyer seminars here. In fact, did you do one last week?
I think it was a couple weeks ago.
How was that received? Okay? Lukewarm?
It's funny, we had more agents show up than buyers.
Did you really? Well, how, you guys did a lot of marketing for that, correct? Okay, all right. Well, it is something that I've been tasked to do. I think there's some value with it. We are going to be doing them here. What I would like to do, because I know there's a lot of agents in this office that do open houses, I'd like to tie a buyer's seminar with like an open house extravaganza. So kind of do them all together and see if we can get some activity within the office. I really think that it's nice in here because we do with property management, there's always something going on within this office. Some of the other offices without the big property management, who are kind of the headquarters as it were for this company, get very, very slow. And it's not, you know, you go in there and it's like, geez, how fun is this? There isn't even anybody to tease over there. You know, you tease yourself, I guess. But you know, so as a result, there's always something going on within the confines of this office. But I do want to stir it up. I want to get it better. I think that this in turn will make more money for you guys, which in turn makes more money for the company. But in addition to that, I think it's also a good recruiting tool, selfishly for me. If we're doing this kind of stuff, we get better quality agents, and I think everybody in here recognizes that the better the agents we have within the organization, the better the whole organization is going to be, because we all will benefit from that. So I want to do those. We're going to do them on a quarterly basis. I need to get together with Lance because I want to get a budget. I'd like to do a couple of different things, some ad stuff, and one of the considerations I had was I'd like to do it and have like a food truck here, and you know, whether it's a Taco Man or In-N-Out, whatever, try and figure out what we can budget for something like that, and get some balloons out there. Get some those big sale signs that like the florist had that Lance hates when they put them out there. We're gonna really piss everybody off.
If there are, I love it.
Well, wait. Actually, what we can do is wait till the fish shop opens over here, and then we'll just have them fry fish sticks for all of us.
Yeah,
Right?
combo.
So that's really, I mean, as far as my consideration for the office and the hot topics right now, that's kind of what I've got. Lance, do you have anything you want to share?
What's that? I'm sorry, Matt was distracting me. Matt.
With hot topics, anything you want to share?
No, just the thing just that Haynes thing we'll talk about
Yeah.
when we're rolling.
Well, and
through.
again, when we get finished here, which I'm going to be down here shortly. And again, don't hesitate to promote that market forecast. It is available on the website. Has it been edited down yet?
No, matter of fact, Ingrid's been bugging me. We've got, I don't know, 400 some odd views. I haven't looked at it in a little while, but about 400 and whatever change views. We will, because if I don't do it, Ingrid's gonna kick my ass. Sometime in the next week, we'll have 10, 12, 15 little, 60-second videos to tweak. But send I get comments. I probably had once a week for the last, 5, 6 weeks, someone that I'll talk to randomly, and then, oh my God, that was nice. I saw your video, or whatever it happens to be. So use it, guys. It's can't hurt.
Well, and again, that video, this gets back to having videos of your own, which you can put together and attach on your salutations as well.
Yep.
And you can have multiples. If it's for a home buyer or a home seller, you can have different videos set up specifically for those particular environments that you're going to be doing your marketing in. So it doesn't cost anything to do it. We can do it within the office here. Just, if we don't do it, you'll never know if it's going to work, right?
I think the 60-second ones will be, hopefully they'll be a little bit better received. Sending someone a 3.5 hour long video maybe isn't what we're looking for, but.
Well, I know it makes you happy, but.
I love it. I think it's, I love it.
I think the level of concentration in today's world is about a 60-second soundbite, so.
Like 30 seconds.
Yeah, 60's a lot.
Oh, 60's too much?
Gen Blue, who's going to Gen Blue?
Today's world.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
All right, more than that.
Nice.
Then, we'll have-
Raise both your hands so it looks better. Are you going? Oscar? You sure? Sure. Okay. Who's staying out there? Is everybody staying out there? Raise both your hands, Eric. It's better. All right. I think we'll probably have some sort of post bar at some point.
Yeah, we'll do, last year we took everybody to dinner on the eve of the first night. I probably am not gonna do that. That costs about $3,500 to take 4 people to dinner. We'll do something. There's a nice bar there at the Marriott. We'll provide something.
Oh, and by the way, anybody that's going there, make sure you get your shirt, because that was part of the deal. Anybody that signed up gets a shirt.
Ingrid?
So,
For the record, I did not give a date when you will be receiving them, but I want to assure you that I should be getting them next week. I'm not too sure if it's right before or the day of, so just to let you know.
The day of?
Yeah.
Let the
or the day
record-
Well, that
before.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Who's doing them?
We ordered them and
I
it takes
got
2
it,
weeks.
but the day of, or even the day before is kind of crappy.
Oh, you want us to wear them there?
oh yeah, because we want
Well,
to represent.
We'd like you to. That was kind of the purpose
I
of
think I'd
it.
rather wear one of these.
Right, but it took
What
me
kind of
2
shirt
weeks.
is it?
One
Yeah.
off the, it's a
Just
polo.
want to give you.
It's a
heads up.
polo, similar to those vinyl, or what do they call it?
Dry fit looking polos, polos.
Okay, and then the Gen Blue in Los Angeles, again, we've discussed that. They still don't, as far as I know.
They don't have a
still
site
know who
check?
The speakers are. So John and Diane?
They have a location?
Yeah, it's in LA. It's gonna the.
Place a big place.
What's the Dolby Theater is where they're doing the main
Universal
deal,
Studios.
and then all of the breakouts and stuff are gonna be Universal Studios. It should be nice. I think they're screwed up once again, not having a central location for this all to go down. Everyone's gonna be scattered all over Los Angeles, but anyway, 6th to the 8th.
We've got the online school, again, we've discussed this at infinitum, and it just isn't, Lance has discussed it. If we're gonna do any renewals, just find a different resource than ours at this point.
And would you get rid of that slide?
Yeah, we should take that, you're right. Your real estate, you were at real estate trainers, did they get that squared away for you yet?
No,
No? Okay. Any communication from them?
no, I got Lance involved and I haven't heard anything since.
That'll really push the road.
Probably the right move
The eMag, Ingrid spends a lot of time putting this thing together. It's very time consuming. Is anybody in here taking advantage of the e-magazine?
Looked at it.
Yes, no?
I've looked at it.
Well, I mean, looking at it and using it are 2 different things. So use it. I mean, she does it. It doesn't cost you anything. Use it. Get it out there. Get it on your website. And again, this is marketing stuff that we provide for you guys at no expense. Lance spends a lot of money on labor costs for this, and you guys don't have to pay a dime for it.
Has anybody sent this out?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, we're gonna use it as a recruiting tool, whether you guys use it or not. But Ingrid's putting a lot of time and effort and
We've got the
energy into this
I've
thing.
got
Use
the
it.
Redlands agents stirred up to use it a little bit, more so than which surprises me because they're so technologically reverse from you guys. It surprises me that you're not trying to take advantage of it. Is it your pictures you guys are worried about in there? What are you worried about in it?
No, at the time that I wanted to use it, I wasn't able to right at that minute. I couldn't do what I was doing, but I
Okay.
do want to do that.
Okay, well, let's utilize that tool. Let's take advantage of it. And we want to set ourselves apart from the competition. And this is one of the ways to do it. David, are you using it?
It was like, huh?
Sure it is.
2014 business planning. Again, I want to get whatever's left in the year. I want this stuff from you guys by the end of the month. Okay, you can send it to me via email. Anybody that doesn't, which brings me to another topic, anybody that doesn't have my phone number in their phone, send me a text to 909-815-1450 with your name, and then I'll program it in mine, and then you'll have it backwards the other direction. So I want to get everybody's information in there. It's just easier if you send it to me. I may already have it, and then it'll show up, and then I'll just reply and say I've already got it. It's important for you guys, as much as you may not think this, but 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You can text or call. If I'm available, I'll take a call. If not, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I think, Oscar, you called me last night, and I was on my 4th gin. You called me about 7:30. But I was still lucid enough to answer your questions.
Yes, very well.
Lunch break?
So in any event, please get the business planning put together and get it to me. If you have questions about preparing it, let myself know. Or Lance, actually, if he's around, you could ask him, but primarily me. And we can discuss it, because I really want to have some sort of an idea what we can count on as an office for, frankly, for income and planning what we're going to do to help you guys. Okay? That's really all I've got. I'm going to close at this point. Lance has got a presentation for the Haynes Crisscross Directory that we're all going to be able to utilize. And I think it's going to be an excellent product for us. Anybody in here familiar with the old style of Haynes? All right, well, basically, particularly if you want to do work the expireds, it's going to be an excellent tool for that. And again, you'll be able to get phone numbers and stuff. It'll tell you if the, well, he can explain it, but it'll tell you if the do not call registry is in place, so you can't harass them. But it's going to be an excellent resource for dealing particularly with the expireds. Okay, so without further ado,
You guys are going to dig this. We've talked about this a little bit for the last, I don't know, a few weeks, maybe a month or so. No, I'm not going to do that. Bear with me, I want to pull up an email. Oh, here we go. Okay. If you haven't already, I don't know if Stacy sent this out. If you haven't sent this out, we're going to send out an email with where the login is, what the username and passwords are, and I'm going to do a demo here. I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I am not an expert at this program. Matter of fact, the very first time I used it in the last 10 years was yesterday morning, and I demoed it in Covina. And it took me, literally, I learned as I went, demoing the product. So basically what I'm trying to say, there's not a long learning curve with this product. And before we even get into this, basically what it is, because some of you have a different level of understanding of what we're talking about. In the old days, there was a same company called Haynes Crisscross Directory, C-R-I-S-S cross, C-R-O-S-S. And the whole concept of it was a gigantic book, and I mean gigantic. The thing was this big and this thick, and you take it to your desk and you flip it over, and it had names, addresses, and phone numbers of people. So the book that you had was Riverside County. It had everybody in Riverside County, and then you could search it by name, you could search it by phone number, you could search it by street. No computer involved, and you just sit back. And in the old days, we used to actually use these things on our desk, and we'd sit back and we'd call, hey, this is Lance, you want to sell your house? This is Lance, you want to sell your house? We don't see as much of that anymore, and I think the do not call registry has kind of ruined that for a lot of our industry, or at least we've used it as an excuse. So now what they've done is they've taken that book and they put it online, which, by the way, this product is free, okay? There's some title companies out there, Susie may be able, I don't even know if Orange Coast offers this, but I know that lawyers and a few other title companies offer a version of this product. A small portion of it is free. And then if you want the good stuff, you have to pay 6 cents or 15 cents per record, okay, in order to access that data. We are offering this to you for free, okay? I'm paying for it, and we're going to throw it out there, and we'll see who uses it. So anyway, so this is the deal. This is the web address that you're going to go to. It is completely dependent upon you having internet access. The faster the connection, probably the better the product's going to perform. There is a little bit of a challenge. I have 3 account accesses and 3 accesses only, okay? So if there's 4 people that want to use this product simultaneously, one of them is going to have to wait. Now that might sound like a problem because we have over 200 agents that are going to be using this. Having said that, based upon the e-magazine thing that we've put all this energy into, and only, how many people have signed up for e-magazine now? 6. So by my calculations, that's 2% approximately of our agent population. I am not overly concerned that we're going to have a backlog of this, but this is how it will work, and this is a little bit of a challenge. Instead of having one username with 3 simultaneous accesses, we have 3 usernames with 1 access. So in other words, if you will go to the product and you put your username and password in, it will tell you somebody's already on there. Okay, well, do not kick that person off, because if you can log in, and what you've just done is you've just kicked off one of your colleagues from the program. So if you do get to the login and it says, we're sorry, it's being used, then you have to log in with a different username and password. And if that one says, I'm sorry, it's being used, then you will log in with the different username and password. My thought is, honestly, is we'll probably have very, very few people. We'll see what happens. If you're constantly doing it and there's no access, let me know, let Mike know, we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll pay for a 4th access. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, so this is how this works. Somebody remember that user 3598? You got that? Mm-hmm. By the way, this is so cool. If you guys don't absolutely dig this by the time this is over, I don't know what to tell you. Because this is just great stuff. This is just super, super, especially since it's free. It's even better than great. Okay, so let's paste this. Let's get in here. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Crisscross V4i. I have no idea what the V4i, probably version 4 or something like that. The username is fuser. I remember what that number was?
3598.
3598. Okay, and for this particular user, this is case sensitive, by the way. The password is CBTC, all capital 01. And we'll see if anybody's logged in. And hopefully somebody is actually. Okay, there wasn't. If somebody was logged in, it would come up with a big message and says somebody's logged in. Do you want to kick them off? It will let you kick them off, so please don't do that. Okay, right now we're paying for 4 counties rather. So you'll click on your state. California, since we're in Riverside, why don't we say Riverside County? We'll select collect, or excuse me, submit, and we want to go to criteria selection. It basically says right now you have no selection, no criteria selected. So let's just do a real basic search on the fly. Which, by the way, I've wondered this. Who's been on a listing appointment and either had the question asked to them or actually thought, how many households are in the city of Moreno Valley? Does anybody know the answer to that? How many actual households are in the city of Moreno Valley? Well, I don't know the answer, but we're going to know in about 2 minutes. Okay. So this is how this works. I believe I want to type address first.
I said 35,000.
I was going to say 25.
Okay, I'm going to click city. Again, keep in mind we're in Riverside County. The selection list is, as you would imagine, this is based upon all of the cities that are in Riverside County. So let's go down to Moreno Valley.
No, you said 35.
And
It
I'm
may
going to
not
add
be that.
criteria. So we now, by the way, it's very similar to like doing like an MLS search. It's very similar stuff. Nothing fancy here. So now our criteria is Moreno Valley. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click search. It's going to come back with results. And this is going to tell us all of the parcels in the city of Moreno Valley, not single family. This is a parcel. The gas station on the corner is a parcel. The vacant lot across the street is a parcel. So all of the parcels in the entire city are going to be returned here, hopefully in a minute. I did play with this yesterday for quite a while, and the speed actually was pretty reasonable. Had the occasional delay like this, but generally speaking, I was pretty happy with the speed. So, matter of fact, I don't think I had to wait at all longer than I just waited here. So, there's 46,662 parcels of land in the city of Moreno Valley. Does that surprise anybody? It surprises me. I wouldn't have thought it would have been that many. But that's Aaron, and I'm going to, and again, I may be wrong, but I'm assuming that is defined by an assessor parcel number. So we've got 46,000 assessors parcel numbers in Moreno Valley. Now to answer that question about, and then I'm just going to go up here and just change my criteria. I'm going to add something to it. So I'm on that listing appointment. I want to know, well, how many single family houses are there in the city of Moreno Valley? Anybody want to take a stab at it?
Single family?
Single family houses.
30,000?
Okay. All right, that's probably a reasonable guess. So anyway, I'm over here. I'm looking for, help me out here. I'm looking for something on over here. I'm looking for something that says usage. Site. Land usage. Okay, so land usage. Now these land usages are all pulled from the county and city. So if city government has AGR, well, that's a horse ranch. So if you are specifically looking to market horse ranches in Moreno Valley, then you potentially would want to do this. By the way, this has all commercial stuff in it too. So if you've got a commercial client that's looking for something that's zoned for a gas station, you can come here and you can find gas station zoning and pull up all the gas stations in the city or the county, whatever it happens to be. So for now, we're obviously going to look for single families. So we'll scroll down here. And residential single family residence. Fair enough? Add the criteria. Our criteria box is going to come up. Moreno Valley SFRs, quick search, and we went from 46,000 to the winner is. I was thinking about 20, to be honest with you. 25.
What's the difference
I
between
bid
this and the
$1.
census? Because I pulled it up on the census and it's got it at 51,000 households.
Households, I don't know. Households, well, that may
Households,
be
probably
apartment
apartments
buildings.
and everything, yeah.
Households could be apartments, and they're not gonna, this is single families.
Yeah, census are apartments too.
So the answer is single, where did we go? We went from 46 to 43. So there's 3,000 vacant lots and gas stations and stuff like that. 43,000 single families in City of Moreno Valley. So, and if Drew's talking about households, again, this would not include, if you've got a 400 unit apartment building over here, this is not going to be included. Those are all, that would be 400 households. So, and keep in mind, these are lots that are zoned single family. That doesn't necessarily mean they're there. I mean, there's a lot of lots that are zoned single family right now that don't have houses built on them. Okay? Okay, so now, change criteria. And I'm just going to pull up a couple random little examples here. I'm going to go to name, and I don't know why, I did this in Claremont or Covina, so I'll do it here. Let's just suppose, for whatever reason, we wanted to target people with Hispanic surnames, okay? So we can click Hispanic. This may be a silly example, but I'm going to use it anyway. So how many people, by the way, this is registered ownership. So you have to have a Gonzalez or Hernandez or whatever last name is the registered owner of that particular lot. So we're going to run that, we're going to search it. And of course the number's going to start to get compacted. I'm just going to do two other little criteria here. And then you, by the way, you need to get in here and you need to play around a little bit, because you will find just by playing around, well, that's pretty cool. Maybe I should search that, okay? Or maybe I should search, look at this, 15,000 of the 40 some odd thousand that have Hispanic surname. Which, by the way, that is approximately the exact same percentage of what I found in Covina yesterday. It was about a third of the lots that had Hispanic surname. Keep in mind, though, that doesn't necessarily mean that the owner of the parcel is Hispanic or speaks Spanish. Because if I'm an old white guy who doesn't speak Spanish, but I married, you know, Sally Hernandez, well, I have now Hispanic surname, so I'm going to show up in that search if that's.
Oh, she's not gonna take your surname?
Well, no way.
All you
You're
need to
gonna
do is
take
add
hers?
an EZ to his name and it's Spanish.
Women's
Okay,
like gone
one
wild.
of the other things that we talked about in our classes, in our prospecting classes, I get this a lot when we do a class on, say, farming or a class on some sort of prospecting. I'll get responses from the people in the classes, well, that's pretty cool, Lance, but where do I get the phone numbers? Okay, that's one of the nice things about this particular program. Mike had mentioned working expireds. Is it difficult or nearly impossible to get a phone number of a seller on an expired listing in the MLS?
Yes.
Yeah, it's damn near impossible. Now, this is not foolproof. This is only as good as the data that's available, but we've got a better chance. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, okay, I want phone numbers. Phone available, yes. Okay, I'm going to add that to the criteria.
Where'd we go? 15,000?
And we're going to say, of the 15,000 people that we searched, how many of those 15,000 people in Moreno Valley in a single-family residence with a Hispanic surname have a phone number?
200?
And the answer is 4,000. Okay? Now, what's the problem with the phone numbers?
Would you know if that's landlines or what? Do you know?
Well, it could be both. It could be landline. Who's getting unsolicited phone calls on their cell phone today? Did you get that 3 or 4 years ago? No. The law changed. I get probably at least 2 or 3 telemarketers a day calling my cell phone. Apparently, the rules changed, and I don't know how this happened. I guess I know how it happened with me. If you have a cell phone and it has somehow been deemed a business cell phone, you are on this list. Your cell phone will be on this list. Okay? If it's been designated as a personal, then somehow you're staying off this list. But by the way, there's 4,000 phone
Where is that
records here.
designated at?
Everything, maybe you can't see
It's a
this, there's
business
a little
Yeah, business cell phone.
phone over here with an X on it. They're on the do not call list.
Any
So
website
obviously
that
we do not want to call them. I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit here, but these, if it has a little envelope with an X on it, they're on the do not mail list. Did anybody know there was such a thing as a do not mail list? 4 of you did. I had never heard of this before. I did not know, because I go home every day, 90% of the stuff in my mailbox is junk. Apparently there is a way for me to stop that, and it's called the do not mail list. And to be honest with you, from what this was described to me in learning the product with the Haynes people, the advertisers who are filling your mailbox with this stuff love it when you subscribe to the do not mail list, because if you're one of those people, they would just prefer not to put $2 worth of marketing into your mailbox. So we're going to get to that in a minute, but as you can probably tell, we're going to change our criteria again. And we're on the phone criteria. Oops, I'm sorry. I need to go back. Oh, here's our criteria. Over here, there's a list. One of those is do not call. Previously, we didn't have it selected. Now I do have it selected. So I've got the do not call list. Also, if you're mailing, I know Steven's been doing mailings, Chris has been doing mailings, a few others of you have been doing mailings. I don't really know exactly what you guys have been doing, but I understand you've been sending it out to mail houses. When you do an output on this, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. You can export the results. Right now we have 4,000 records. You can export them to Excel to do whatever you want with them. You can print a report, and a report could say, hey, just give me a name, address, and phone number. I'm going to sit at my desk and I'm going to call these people. Or you can do a mailing, which the mailing would say, print me labels, print me number 10 envelopes, print me postcards. All of those are available options. So whatever you filter it down to, you can basically do your own mailing house in here. And if you were doing mailings, you would also want to click this box, the do not mail list, and potentially save you X amount of dollars in postage, because these people don't want your stuff anyway. I don't know what the penalty is for mailing to somebody who is on the do not mail list, because like I said, I didn't know the damn thing existed.
Who's the agency that mans that anyway?
I don't know. As a matter of fact, they wouldn't tell me. When I bought the product, I said, where are you guys getting this information? And they said, because obviously tax records is some of this stuff. And they said, well, we get some of it from tax records, some of it from the white pages, some of them from this and that. but then there's like 17 different sources of secret sauce to get this. And they stopped at 3. Tax records, white pages, and there's one other that they told me. And then the other ones, they said, well, no, we're not going to tell you. Because if we tell you, then the value of our product is diminished. So anyway, so we went from 4,000. So according to this program, there's 2,282 people in Moreno Valley in a single-family house that have a Hispanic surname, that have a phone number that's not on the do not call list, and here's their number.
Wow.
So if you don't know who to call, and if you want to talk to the group we just had, there you go. Now, I'm only going to do one more filter on this, but there are literally, I was going to say thousands, that's probably not accurate, but there's at least hundreds of different options to search this by. So I'm going to do one more. I thought this was kind of cool. And I'm going to go over to the financial side, and I'm going to click Sale, and I'm going to put in a date. Okay, somebody tell me, stick their deck out. When did property values in Moreno Valley bottom?
2009.
2009? Okay, so I'm going to say, give me this group.
February 10th.
February 10th? Okay. From February 10th, 2009 to, let's just say, let's just go back to, oh, whatever. Okay, so what I've done is I've said, I believe property values in Moreno Valley have bottomed somewhere in 2009. Somebody said February 10th, so I picked that date. Probably not the best date to choose, but at any rate. And I'm going to say they kind of were bottoming between then and the next 14 months to 2011. So in effect, I said, give me the same group, but all I want now is I want people that bought that house during that window of time. It's a stupid question, but why am I doing that? They have equity. It's possible that they're a potential seller who now has equity, who may say, hey, the last 4 years have been pretty good to me, maybe I might want to sell. Okay? So there's 425 people that fit that criteria with active phone numbers that we can call. Guys, if that doesn't give you goosebumps and it doesn't make you want to get out of this meeting right now, jump onto this program and start making some phone calls, you are in the wrong freaking business. Okay? Because we tell you all day long to go out and knock on doors, send out mailings, and what are we doing? We're blinded, and we're just going out there, you know, like a squirrel looking for a nut. And this search alone, although I would take out the Hispanics, as a matter of fact, let's do that.
Right.
You know, I just used the Hispanic thing just for giggles, just to kind of show you how that works. So let me go back to my criteria. You know, Hispanic surnames is nice, but let's take that out. Now, let's see how many we end up. And again, to Robert's point, these in theory are people that have some equity. There's 900. 908 people that bought a house in that 1 year window that meet that criteria. And by the way, you could filter it down. I only want 4 bedrooms. Whatever. I only want houses over 2,000 square feet. These are 900 possible listings. Okay? Now you can work this in reverse. Who has a buyer right now who they're having a hard time finding them a house in the MLS that fits their criteria? Okay. You take that buyer's criteria, you plug it in here, it returns whatever it returns, and then you either call or mail those people. Now we've sat in training classes before, maybe you guys have heard this and thought, oh geez, that's kind of slimy, where you tell your agents, just start calling people and saying, hey, do you have anybody who wants to sell your house because I have a buyer for someone in your neighborhood. Normally that's a BS line. You're just looking for somebody. You don't really have a buyer. Well, if you really did have a buyer and you plugged their criteria in and you called Fred Powers on Martinia, you could legitimately say,
yeah, but Fred doesn't live there. I know that guy.
okay,
It's actually Don Buell's house.
there you go. So, at any rate, this is super, super, super powerful, guys.
That's her
So
house.
whether you're going to make the phone calls for that specific reason, or again, the expires, used to Mike's example earlier. And I haven't done this, so it could be a little challenging. This could be a little time consuming. There is a feature to type in a specific address. I haven't done it, so hopefully I'm not going to embarrass myself. let me do a new search.
Hey, Mike.
By the way,
Is
I
that
could
her
have
new
saved that
husband?
search I just did, I didn't do it. Anybody want to give me
Is
their
that her
house?
husband?
Anybody?
Is
Give
that
me
her
a street
husband?
number, maybe about
Yeah.
27037.
It's the dentist.
27037.
my dentist.
37.
Wood
His
Glen.
name's on the title.
What is it?
Wood Glen. One word. WOODGLEN.
Okay. Is that your house?
That's my house.
Now, what is he searching for now?
I don't know what it's
Okay, so
searching.
there it is.
To the right there. I don't know.
What?
We don't know a
You just
specific
put your
address.
address on.
Oh, just an address.
Give me that to me one more time.
27037.
Oh, really?
It looks like it's got a saved little pick list here, by the way. That's pretty nice.
The green arrow to the right.
Ah, green.
You added it. Now
I think. That's right, last time it kind of screwed me up. Ah, okay, so there we go. So let's see, search. Now, if there's an active phone number on this, it's not on the do not call list. Oh, so you either don't have a phone or you're on the do not call list. So let's change the criteria. So I'm gonna take you off do not call.
Landline.
Oh, yeah.
Search again. Okay, so we do have a phone number, but whoever this is
Tim Meyer?
is on the do not call list, which is why it didn't show up. So, Tim Meyer,
It's your home phone?
we've got a phone number. Is that right? You know? So that's a good phone number, but don't call Tim because he's on the do not call list.
Can you, from a map, like select an area to
Yeah.
then get info?
I should have done it before I did this, but let's pretend we still have the 1,000 records on. You click map, it pulls up a map, and it gives you, here's our one dot for Tim. But if we had, 500 on there, it would give you a heat map or give you a pin map of where all those records are.
Yeah, the other way around. Can you take the map and get a
And
criteria?
You can
and
search a
then,
map. I don't know how to do it, but you can search your map. I believe you can do like polygram
Right.
boxes and all the rest of that nonsense, and you can search by map. I believe you can also search by census tract. You can certainly search by zip code. You can search by all that sort of stuff. So, Fred D. Slick. Huh? Well, I don't know. We'll find out. From what I understand, it's pretty up to date. Frankly, that's going to be the feedback I get from you guys. I'm committed to this product for 12 months. So, and I got to tell you, I'm under no illusion that 200 people are going to use this product. I think there's going to be 4 of you that will use this. There will be, okay, Don's 1. Okay, 2, 3. Well, there's only 1 left. Wrong, right, that's it. So, now, of the 4 people that just said, yeah, I'm going to use it, I'll talk to you in 30 days. We'll see if you're still using it. I'll talk to you in 6 months. We'll see if we're still using it. Okay? This, guys, 100% of what we do in this business is prospecting. If you don't have an open transaction, who does? Never mind. If you don't have an open listing or an open transaction right now, 100% of what you should be doing today is prospecting. 100%. Now, if you've got 10 open escrows and 10 open listings, I would suggest that at least 50% of what you're doing today should be prospecting. Maybe more. Because if you have that much business, you can afford to have a TC handle all that crap for you. Okay? You have to have Janet TC your stuff, or have your assistant, or whoever you have, do all that stuff. You should be prospecting, because for those of us who have had 20 listings and 10 open escrows, you know darn well you won't have 20 and 10 2 months from now if you're not out there prospecting. Which is what we always do in this business. You bust your ass, you prospect, you get a bunch of business, then you work on the business, and then 45 days later you have no business because you haven't been prospecting, right? And you go do it again, you do it again, you do it again, which is why our income is up and down and all around. This product is the bomb. You know, I mean, between this and a product like Foreclosure Radar, which is honestly why I have very low expectations for the usage on this, because all of you have had access to Foreclosure Radar for the last 5-6 years, and I think 3 of you have used it. And at the time, Property Radar now, at the time, if you were trying to go get short sale listings, there was probably no better product to use than Foreclosure Radar, and I gave it to you for free. And it wasn't used. So if I'm beating you up a little bit, then the message is being well received, because I am beating you up a little bit. By the way, we just pulled up that listing with the date range, or whatever it was, 2009 to 2010 for sales. You know, who's out actively marketing short sale listings right now? Okay, well, why would you, when you can go after those 4 or 5 or 1,000 people? You know, or maybe you do want to do that. Maybe your business model. We talked about this in our farming class. Maybe our business model is because nobody else is doing short sales, I'm going to go get the short sale business because nobody else wants it. Well, then fine, and you can go. Which, by the way, I'll just briefly see if I can find this. Go back to the grid. Detail. I don't know anything about this house owned by Tim, but you can go to the financials and it'll give you some information on these particular properties. It looks like, I don't know what this is. Is this February? I'm looking for sales history.
Mortgage there.
Yeah, but this is January. That's obviously not 1927 or 2027. So this is
January 27th?
Cash off at 500 grand.
It's January 27th.
Yeah, I know, but what year? What good does that do me if I don't know what year?
Expand that little thing out.
Yeah, does that column shift over, Drew? Yep. Ah, okay, there we go. Okay, so I've got some information, so I can search this information again by date. So we talked about trying to pinpoint people with equity. Well, you could also pinpoint people that you think don't have equity by going in and doing searches on market value and assess land value and say, hey, if this equals this, I want something above that. Okay, so you could target a short sale, which again, today, what's the point? I mean, I would run away from that as fast as I can. So, who digs this?
Yeah.
No. You know what, with that lawyer's title, you can pull up like recently divorced people. Can you do that on this?
Yeah, there's some stuff that we need to, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to shoot you an email out, and that email will give you, there's got to be a 10-page PDF that you can read through. I know that there's some video tutorial links and that sort of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that this does. There's another program out there, which I don't know if this does it or not, which, you know, talks about, there's an algorithm that says how many cars the household owns or something like that. And based upon the number of, you know, if I live in a small house and I just bought a car, that might mean I want to get a bigger house because now I got too many cars in my garage or something like that. I don't exactly know how much of that this program does, but it does a lot. It does a heck of a lot more than what I just presented. And obviously the divorce thing would be kind of interesting. Who just filed for divorce? Who just filed for bankruptcy? I just filed for bankruptcy, but I have equity in my house. Does that potentially mean I'm a greater candidate to list my house today? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. So, okay, I'll just close it with this, and we'll just use this guy as a quick example. Once I
Don't say anything bad, because that's Misty's husband.
That's my house.
No, I'm not gonna. No. So, if you wanted to export this, you click on the export button, and that exports it to Excel. One of the agents in Covina, which I thought was interesting, I don't know that I would do this, he took the entire city of Covina and exported the entire thing into Excel because he wanted to do his own manipulation with it. He wanted to go through and search by names and addresses, and he also wanted to have it available offline. Part of his thing was, wait a minute, Lance, you're telling me that I might not be able to access this 24/7 because Eric's on the database or something like that. So his thought was, let me just export the whole damn thing, and at least that way, if I don't have access, I've got it. Under the print records, I haven't completely explored this, but again, bless you. when you go to print records, it gives you some options. What do you want to do? I just want addresses. I just want what the mortgage report is. I want a customized list. I want a thumbnail. I want property details. You can do the defaults, or apparently you can configure your own. This would, for the most part, kind of be for if you want to sit down at your desk and make some phone calls, or if you just want to kind of do some research. Who do I want to call? How do I want to do that? And then lastly, under the print mailings, it's got, I don't know if you can see that, on the default up top, I want to print number 10 envelopes, okay? By the way, since Brian's not here, I can say this out loud. These machines will print number 10 envelopes. However, don't you dare try to print a number 10 envelope unless you know what the hell you're doing. Because not only will Brian have a heart attack, I will have a heart attack. Because if you don't set it up right, you're going to jam the damn thing and it's not going to work. But you can print number 10 envelopes, you can print Avery labels. These machines will print Avery labels. Make sure you know what you're doing, because there's nothing worse than having a label peel off and stick to the drum inside one of those machines. You're going to knock us out. But if you know what you're doing, they'll print Avery labels. They'll also print postcards, 3x5, 4x6s, 4.5 by 5.5s, and the jumbo 5.5 by 8.5s, and the super jumbo 8.5 by whatever. I mean, they'll print all that stuff out. So if you already have that, again, I know there's a few of us in the office that are doing mailings, and you have those postcards done, and I think most of those people are sending them out to a mailing house. But if you have your own, for example, I'm going to use this in a property management. I'm going to use this in property management. We already have some pre-printed postcards that are done, and I'm going to send, who am I going to send to?
Non-owner occupant.
Non-owner occupants. It's going to take probably 2 minutes to pull up the search I want. I'm going to isolate it. I'm going to stack them in the machine with Brian's supervision. I'm going to press print, and it's going to spit those suckers out. Okay? So you can print envelopes, labels, postcards, and then in addition to that, on the printing side, I think you can just do straight letters. Actually, I guess we probably wouldn't select that, but if you just want to do a straight mail merge to a letter or something like that and use window envelopes, I believe you can do that as well. I don't know where the feature is for that. And then I guess you can format it. How do you want the name to show up on the thing? Do you want it to be Lance Martin, Martin Lance, no name, the Martin household, the Martin family, to the family of, occupant, resident? There may be some reasons. If I'm looking for buyers, who wants to work with buyer today? 3 of you. Great. Okay. The exact opposite of what I'm doing on the property management side, you do on the buy side. I want to pull up non-owner occupant properties. I want to send a mailing piece to the owner of that property at their mailing address. Are you interested in property management? If you don't have enough buyers, you're going to pull up non-owner occupants. You want to send your mailing piece to the property address labeled occupant or current resident, right? Hey, occupant or current resident, you are a tenant here. You want to buy. How come you're not buying? Interest rates are yada yada. Yeah, get it? All right. So, any questions?
Site address?
What's that?
Site address?
Site address. How do we get onto that? Where's the link?
Yeah, that's how you get.
I don't know. This what you asked me to search.
Crisscross.
Website address?
Crisscross. How do you get to
You're sending us
that?
that email that has
crisscross.
the logins and everything?
Okay, we're going. Yeah, I'll have Stacy or Ingrid send it to you today. But the address to get to this thing is.
Maybe there was something
Looking
that
worse
had the
than
link
looking at
there
somebody
also.
else's.
Yeah.
I think you just have to paste, you already copied it.
Yeah, but I'm going to go back here. Okay. It's hard to see with it highlighted. We're going to send you this information. It's not easily remembered. It's b4i.haynes.com/secure/logincfl. So we'll email that to you.
Got that?
These are your 3 different usernames you can access. As a matter of fact, I'll make this super easy. You don't even have to worry about this. While I'm doing this, anybody got any other questions? None? Nothing? You guys dig this or not?
Yeah.
How could we not dig this? This is the best thing since sliced bread. Is it under public? By the way, if you guys can't do what I'm doing right now, you need to take a class in contact management. Because, huh? No, it should be, I'm almost there. Okay, with Ingrid's help, it took me approximately 30 seconds to send everybody in this room that contact information and about 200 more. Okay, so that email should be in everybody's inbox in the next 60 seconds.
You queued it, you didn't send it.
Well, I queued, well, Drew, don't tell them my secrets. I wanted to queue it first. Okay, now we'll. Okay, so, am I the only one that's excited about this? I really expected people to like just be literally like, you know, doing cheers and screams of joy that the broker has come down from the mountain and provided this beautiful information for free. All right, last chance for questions, comments? All right, go sell something.
All right, then.
Peace and love. Go get them, check your email box.